Hi everyone, and welcome to a brand new show, The Girls. We are via Zoom. Mom's at home, Lori's at home. I'm at home in my basement. How's everyone doing?
Good, how are you?
Oh, I'm just peachy. Staying nice and warm in my house with just having to wear a shirt and wearing pants, but just sweatpants is awesome. I'm loving that part of our job.
Yeah, well, for the people who are watching, I know the day that we're recording this, we have about 18 inches of snow right now. So we've been trying to keep up with the snow, and my dog keeps coming in and bringing little snowballs in his paws. You know, I have to take care of all that when they come in. So it's been a very eventful day in between trying to get ready and, you know.
Well, hopefully
snowballs.
by the time this show airs, we won't have any snow on the ground, and that'll be a thing of the past.
I wanted to mention that because in the summertime when we're roasting, we could think back to this day. So we're going to have to throw a shot of something in here. Hey, Lori, I really like your fireplace there.
Oh, thank you. I'm ready for Valentine's Day.
Yes, you are.
Mm-hmm. There you go. There you go. Well, you're speaking of the summer and the winter and holidays, and our guests today are going to be talking about exploring the United States. They've been on a trip, so I guess we should talk about some of our favorite trips. Lori, what is your most memorable trip? I think I could guess it.
I think you both can guess it.
Hawaii.
Hawaii is always my favorite place to go. My absolute favorite trip was to Hawaii because, of course, that's where Sam proposed. So that will be always, forever my favorite trip.
Yeah. I think Hawaii for several reasons. That particular trip with you and Sammy and Janine, because we're able to have our family there, but Sam and I went there on our honeymoon. So yeah, Hawaii is always like very close to my heart. In fact, Sam and I just watched a movie the other night, and the reason we watched is because it took place in Hawaii. So it's just, we have to do the show in Hawaii, Janine.
Well, keep that thought because we might be getting to Hawaii sooner than you think.
I know.
I think my favorite trip was when I actually explored driving from Pennsylvania to Florida. So we drove through different states, and that was kind of fun to see the signs and to take photos of all the locations when you were crossing each of the boundaries. I thought that was really neat to do. And it's great to see, you know, we're so spoiled here with the mountains in Pennsylvania and you know, all the valleys, and then the more south you go, you just get flatter land. And so it is neat to see. So it's 2 for 1 on the Hawaii. So for me anyway.
Yeah, I really like Hawaii. I like the culture. I like the tropical weather, but I also like, as you know, pineapple, and it was very plentiful there. So it's the land of where I need to be. I love the tropical fruit. So we're going to have to think about maybe having the girls move to Hawaii.
You and Lori can move to Hawaii. I can just travel. I'll be the gypsy. Like my friends Jeff and Angela Turse. They're from here, northeastern Pennsylvania. They're going to be joining us. They decided to pick up their entire family. Their boys are going to be on their online schooling since September, like a lot of kids are, and they took this opportunity to rent out their house. They're traveling across the country, visiting every state that they could imaginable, and they even brought their dog. So they've been living in an RV for several months now. I think it's going to be interesting to talk to them about some of the challenges and some of the adventures that they've been on.
Interesting to say the least. I can't wait to hear about all the episodes. I'd be killing myself. All right, well, stay with us when we come back. You're going to meet the Turse family.
Welcome back. You're watching The Girls here on SSP TV. We're live via Zoom. The girls have a very special guest. We are going all the way to Texas right now with the Turse family. They decided a few months ago to pick up with their family, including the family dog, and they are living in an RV for several months, and they are exploring a new day. So we're very excited to have you guys on with us.
Thanks, Jay.
So let us see the RV and how much space you've been living in, and tell us about how you came up with the name, why you decided to travel across the country.
We have a 38-foot Coachman Murata Select that we purchased, and square footage wise, Jeff?
We were at 273 square feet.
Whoa.
Wow.
It's approximately 10% of, what we were living in.
So I have a question. Space to me is a huge issue. And in that tiny confined space for all the time you've been gone, how are you handling that small amount of space?
Whew, it's crazy.
I'm sure.
It's a loaded question. Honestly, there's some great times and there's some really hard times. I would say it's hardest when it's cold outside and it's rainy. So then we're literally confined sometimes to the 38 feet. But there's been times where it rains and we've let go and we're like, go outside, go get muddy, go splash in the puddles, go ride your bike through the dirt pile, whatever you need to do to kind of just stay busy and be happy. It was like that kind of stuff. Like you gave up for something else, you gave up the muddy clothes you got muddy clothes for them being outside and being happy. For a day.
I think if anything, it's made us appreciate how much you really don't need in life. Everybody works and strives to live in that big house and have these big cars, and we don't have to do that now. We're in this, we're in it together, and it's made us realize that we don't need that big house. We don't need all the stuff that we worry about back home.
Talk about your faith, and I know, Angela, you've been very vocal about your faith and God and how it's really carried you through this whole experience. Again, when all the noise is gone and you're able to just breathe and take a break, like you're saying, it's almost like you're living in such a confined area, but it really, centered you.
Yeah, and I'll give you an example of how that definitely has come to fruition. Before we even set off in October, like any parents, we sat down with our children and we were like, listen, we're probably going to be a little bit of loners on the road. We're not going to, be very open to, we got to kind of keep to ourselves. We don't know what's out there, right? And I would say less than 2 months into our trip, we were like, God was literally must have laughed at that and said haha, I'm going to show you how good my people are. And our whole trip has been about people and meeting people and opening your heart to people that we didn't know, or we don't know where they come from, or we come from different backgrounds. And yet, no matter what age, color, race, what job, what political party they're from, everybody on the road so far has been amazing.
That's the best part of the whole trip, is the people that we've met. We met a family in Bowling Green that the kids played on a playground, and we had dinner with them at their house the next day. We got invited to Thanksgiving dinner on a working dude ranch with the owner and his family. We started traveling now with a family of 7 that we meet up and we keep meeting, and now we're going to go to Florida and we're going to do the entire loop around Florida into the Keys with them.
So did you start out with an actual road plan? I know you said you changed from going up north to more south, but do you now have a plan, or is it just whatever comes your way? And now that you met the other family, did you sort of get together and, who's the explorer here? Who keeps the logs?
Originally we had our whole entire trip planned out to where it was stop from stop from stop. And now we just had tomorrow we may not know where we're going. So every day we just take it by ear.
And you mentioned your faith. Isn't that what we have to do in everyday life, is just know that God's there taking us along the way, no matter what we do? The funny saying is always, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans, because he already has your road planned out for you. And it is always the better road.
It surely has been. As soon as we decided to just let go of our plan and let God take the road and literally take the wheel, it's been quite an adventure.
Let's talk to the boys a little bit. Guys, when mom and dad sat you down and they said, we are going to take you and you're going to do online schooling and we're not going to be home for 6 months, what was your initial reaction?
Who wants to answer that?
What do you think?
Gianni. At first, it was just like, no, I don't want to leave for 7 months and not come back. But then I looked at it and I was like, you know how many things we're able to see? Like, it's gonna be like pretty crazy to see all those different states. And then I was like, all right, I think I'm good with it.
Have you been keeping in touch with your friends via Zoom or texting or what?
Yeah, FaceTiming and texting, and because can't do anything right now either way.
I
Now-
guess they might be a little jealous of you, huh? That they wish they were with you.
Yeah.
Now, Angela, you and Jeff have been teaching the boys during the day. So you have some things that have been routine on the road. So how has it been, online schooling throughout travel, throughout not having the space and all the other, things that you're dealing with on the road?
The struggle is real. I'm going to just correct you. Angela is the teacher. That's why I drive.
Well, I didn't want to assume that only Angela did it because I do follow her posts and we do talk often, but I wanted to give you a little bit of credit, Jeff, a little bit.
I drive and cook. They're my...
That's his favorite thing.
Homeschool, I'm glad that we left in October because it gave us a month to kind of come up with a structured plan and realize how different, good and bad ways that homeschooling and cyber school was going to be. But overall, it's awesome to watch them learn, and it's awesome to watch them make connections that I otherwise wouldn't see them make. And Jaxson and I in particular, we spend an awful lot of time together during the day. And but we've also been taking art together. So to see,
It's fun.
it is fun. Yeah. We've learned about all different kind of artists, and we do abstract art, and it's really cool. So otherwise I wouldn't have had that experience with him.
I love the time that you're taking, and I love that you decided to think outside the box, because so many times we say, oh, we'll do it later in life, and then later in life comes and we never get these chances, these opportunities. So again, we're with the Turse family here on The Girls. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, very important questions to answer. You guys had milestones happen. We had someone lose some teeth on this trip, and we had to celebrate some birthdays. We were away for some of the holidays. So when we come back, we're going to touch on that. Again, we are exploring a new day with the Turse family here on The Girls. Stay with us.
Welcome back to The Girls, everyone. We are here with the Turse family, and we're talking about how they have been exploring a new day every day for the last few months. And Jaxson, I understand, and I've noticed you're missing some teeth. So that means you must have lost some teeth on this trip?
Yep.
Yep, you lost some teeth. Now, the very important question, did the tooth fairy find you while you have been traveling?
Yes.
Oh, very good. And what did the tooth fairy leave you?
Money.
Money? Now that's good. And Gianni, I have to ask you, because I have a 17-year-old daughter, or almost 17-year-old daughter, and I'm thinking about, you mentioned earlier about, not being in contact as much with your friends or seeing them as much. I think if I took her on a trip, she would probably enjoy the first week or two and then want to go home because she'd have missed that and be tired of her father and I. But you celebrated a birthday while you've been on the road. How has that been?
It was interesting, not having family around for the first year. It was pretty cool. But we went to a Mexican restaurant for my birthday in Tucson, Arizona, and the food was actually really good there. They even had, because it was my birthday, it was a taco ice cream chocolate like dessert thing. It was actually good.
Well, it sounds like you had a great birthday, and that dessert sounds pretty darn good too.
You mentioned about having the push out or whatever on your motorhome. So when you expand that out, how many more feet do you get?
That's with the slides out, 270 square feet.
That's with the slides out. So sleeping accommodations, I guess, are a little much togetherness, huh?
We have our own master bedroom with a shower and a bathroom. The boys have a double bunk bed. So they have their kind of own little space. Each of their bunks we set up that it has their own personal stuff in it.
And do they have chores they have to do because they're away from home? But are there still like more chores probably on this road trip?
My brother has to clean the toilet. I have to clean the sink.
There, he definitely noted that out. How about any fighting? You guys, you get into fights. I know I have children too, and living in those little spaces, I would think there's a fight or two happening.
Listen, it's a small space to keep you cool.
Yeah, it's every day. Every day we get into it. I mean, it's definitely, there's so much good, but yet, I mean, we're just a normal family at the end of the day.
It could be over the toaster. It could be over who's using the bathroom.
Do you ever see those big inflatable sumo suits? That's what I'm buying so that we can all go at it when we get home.
Now, Angela, you do have some videos where you focus on you and, your kids' personality. So everyone kind of is like a character of real life, but I love that. So tell me, I like that, you still keep up with your exercise and your meditation. So how have you found a way to be creative with exercise and meditation? Because that is definitely your alone time.
Yeah, honestly, it mentally has been so good for me, and it's made me appreciate my Eagle Rock Run Squad so much more because they just keep me in check every single day. But even from far away, like just seeing them and speaking with them and seeing the things that they post, it encourages me to keep up with everything. But I mean, we will literally be parked in mud, in rain, and I still have to find a way to make it work because again, it's like what keeps me going mentally. So, we bought an electric heater and I'll throw the heater on in a really small space and I'll do some hot yoga.
And then she goes and explores and gets lost on some days.
Yeah.
And I have to go pick her up.
Yeah, because you're a runner. So sometimes you can't just go outside and start running, right?
I mean, I do. And I'm so grateful for Brody, our German Shepherd, because he comes with us. He comes with me a lot of the time. And but there's been times where, we never know where we are. Every place that we go to is literally a new place. So you have to quickly find your way. And there's been some times where I haven't found my way back. But that's what the cell phone's for. I pick up the phone and I call him and he comes to get me. He finds me.
How many days do you stay in one spot? Is it always different or do you just wait to see what's there?
It's been different throughout the whole trip. There's some times where we're going now, we're just doing one day. It's just to kind of get to the next spot. And then when we get to where our next one is, we're staying for 6 days. Oh. So we stayed in Tucson, Arizona for
3 weeks.
3 weeks. We stayed in a couple places for a week or two. If the area draws us and we really like it, then we stay.
Tell us about some of the exciting, fun places that you've been.
Oh.
So like the KOAs and all of that.
They might not know what KOA is, Campgrounds of America.
It's KOAs stands for Campgrounds of America. And we usually either stay through them or Harvest Host. And the KOAs are really fun because we have all of our hookups. It's not like at home where you could just go to the bathroom. Here, we only have like 30 gallons of water to last us a day.
If we're not hooked up.
If we're not hooked up.
Yeah.
Wow, that must be difficult with showering and going to the bathroom and all that. I would not do well. I probably use that just myself in a shower. So that would be tough for me.
What are some of the things that you guys learn? Like when you come back home, will life be different for you? Or have you looked at if you're going back to your normal life after this road trip?
Yeah, I don't think we really know what it's going to look like. Like we know that it's going to change. We know that it's already changed, but to know exactly what it looks like when we come home, I think we're unsure of that. But we know a lot has changed for sure. I mean, everything from the usage of water to the things that we need to the size, the space that we need. And it's definitely changed my outlook. It's gotten me really excited about life and like what we have to look forward to.
When you first
the outdoor space, when you're talking about outdoor space, doesn't that make you appreciate the outdoors even more because you have such a tiny space? So it sort of forced you to go outside more and just, as you said, we don't have to be under the roof and with the four walls.
Yeah, that's probably for me, that's gonna be I think the hardest thing is not being able to be outside like we are, because I would say 60% of the day we're outside.
And when you talked about giving up, you're giving up to gain more. So you don't really need a lot of space when you're outside as much as you are. But I remember a little funny story, and we have to wrap it up. But when you first left, you packed all this stuff in. Like Jeff's like, where do you think we're putting all these clothes? How many pairs of shoes do you need on this trip?
About a week ago, two weeks ago, G, we found a lot more of Mom's clothes that she hid in the back underneath the master bed. So she brought a lot more than we all brought.
Mm-hmm. 3 bins of clothes, about 2 bins of shoes.
She's poking them under the table right now.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Again, you're in Texas as we're taping this. How long will you be away, and how can people follow you?
You can find us on any social media platform on Explore a New Day. We upload videos once a week to YouTube under Explore a New Day. You can email us by emailing exploreanewday@gmail.com. And we're also on Facebook and Instagram.
Awesome. I did ask our followers where they like to go, and they did say one said St. Augustine. I've been there. It's beautiful. When you get down to Florida, I hope that's in your loop coming back or going down.
We'll make it be.
Mom, what's the saying Pop always says?
Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think.
And we'll see you next time on The Girls. Thank you, guys.
See you guys.